Hey, good morning. How's it going? From my part of the world to yours. Hello from Malawi. This is a Tuesday studio update. I'm going to show you how to make these Chitenge bottle caps, or at least how I make them. And not actually how you make the Chitenge material and put them on the bottle caps. Like, hang on, I have to show you. So it's basically these. Coffee down. Okay, so it's basically these lovely Chitenge wrapped bottle caps, which I'm kind of obsessed with here in Malawi. And you'll find them as pot holders, drink coasters, and then you also find this Chitenge patterns basically on everything. So my older son went to a birthday party, and this was the party favor. So it just says be kind, but basically they took different Chitenge patterns and turned it into an artwork. I thought this was a really nice idea for a party favor. It has like a little message on the back. So you can find them just everywhere. And then I have, this is like a placemat for the table. And you can see they're just like quilted together almost. And my sons especially are happy with me because in this current drawing that I'm working on, so this is not finished, this is maybe 40% done, 35% done, but they're happy because there's some pillows in our living room and they like to basically hit each other with, and I've incorporated some of these Chitenge patterns from the pillows that actually I got at Art House in Balaka. So shout out to Art House in Balaka. That is a lovely place, but not so close to Lilongwe. But if you're passing through, highly recommend. So there's art there and Chitenge patterns and all kinds of cool like crafts and textiles and stuff like that. Obviously, this only applies if you're in Malawi, which I realize is not most of the people that I know, but some of the people I know. Anyway, so I just wanted to share a couple of things that I've been working on. So I actually, I'll show you first this painting. So this is the, I don't know if you can see it. This is a baobab tree, and this is the crown chakra painting in my chakra series. So this is the 7th painting. I've been working on these since when? Since May, April or May. It's taken me a long time because it's almost like I had to clear the chakra in order to make the painting. Now the series is done, so I'm a little bit scared what I'm going to do next, because I think it means I've balanced all my chakras, although that's sort of like a daily meditation thing that one has to do. I really fought with this one though, unfortunately, because the background started out really bright. I mean, these like little patterns were bright yellow, and it was just competing so much against the tiny leaves and everything. So I had to kind of go back in and snuff out the background a little bit, kind of, put it in the background basically. But anyway, so that's finished. I added it to my website, and I'm actually making some designs right now where they're all 7 together just for the gift shop. So, like for I don't know, posters and mugs and things like that. So just playing around with it. It's hard to actually represent 7 images in a nice way. It's not like, if I put them all vertically, which is the way they're supposed to go, you get this long strip. It would make a great Apple Watch band probably, but I can't think of other purposes. So I'm kind of playing around with, circular shapes. Anyway, this one I actually put in a temporary frame. So this is what used to be called cultural chameleon, but now this is a gamma pretending to be a chameleon, because I posted in one of my Malawi creepy crawlies of Malawi group, which is like about insects and reptiles, and usually I post like a picture of something and I'm like, what the hell is this? And those guys, they know every species. They're like, oh, it's a female blah 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 that's been molting for 2 weeks and is really hungry right now and has a gash under their eye and looks like they're thinking about philosophy. So they really know their stuff. Anyway, I had posted this. I thought this was a chameleon. Now I can see I was way off. This is a gamma lizard. So I just I changed the title, and I put it in this frame. This is a temporary frame. I got this in Rome. And what was in this before was the masked weaver Lake Malawi drawing, which I just sent yesterday through FedEx to Boston. So it's going to be in a, so this was the frame that I had that in, but now it's going to Boston to be framed there. It's going to be in the Massachusetts College of Art and Design auction in the spring. And 100% of proceeds from that drawing are going to go towards scholarships to help a deserving and wonderful young art student and artist, most likely from the New England area, but not necessarily. They have students from all over the world there, but it's the only state art school in the country. If I hadn't gone there, I don't know what I would have done. I would have had crazy, crazy loans at RISD. I did go to Pratt later, Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York, for graduate school, and then I took out the loans, and I love Pratt, but I regretted the loans. Anyway, so if you want to help a student, you should definitely check out their auction. I know they start the prices at like 60%, and so you'd be able to get that drawing at a much nicer price than I'm able to offer on my website, because I have to include the international shipping, and the drawing is actually already there in the US, so that's great. All right, so let's start drawing. Obviously, this is not going to be done anytime soon, but this is an actual chameleon. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to make this cultural chameleon. And part of this is also because a friend of mine wants the agama, but she's really into chameleon. So I'm like, why don't you wait? Let me make an actual chameleon, and then you can decide what you want. So just let me see if I can fix my camera that it doesn't fall over, but that you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Okay, hold on a minute. Sorry, little camera adjustment here. I'm trying to use this stand, which hopefully doesn't fall over. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. So you saw I draw from actual Chitenge, and then sometimes I just make them up. You can see I was I was adding leaves, and now it's all dried and curled, but I just grabbed a leaf so I could get some of the texture. And then I have my actual Chitenge pattern. So I think I'm going to do, I'm going to do this one. So if you can see this red one here. So what you need to do is you just have a look at the colors that are involved, and you're going to start with the lightest first. Actually, I don't need to do that. I'm gonna start with the red first, because this black line is going to separate the light area. No, actually, let me do the light area first. So basically, what you do is I'm going to find a spot on my drawing that could use those colors. So I like for example, there's a lot of green and brown and stuff over here. So I think I'm going to put that one over here. So I'm just going to start, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to start with adding that yellow line, which is like a curve. And I could have made that a little bit brighter. So maybe like go back in with like a yellow, like a more bright yellow. All right, so that's step one, right? Now I'm going to add in, so I actually have my source over here that I can look at. All right, so we got the yellow. The reason I put that one down first is because I don't want the darker colors to bleed into the yellow. So we'll just leave that yellow there. And then I'm grabbing red. So these are Tombow dual tip watercolor pens. And I'm just going to start making, so it's basically, it's like almost like little wagon wheels. So I'm going to make this little wagon wheel kind of thing like this. So it's got kind of like, you can see, hold on, to make sure you can see. So we'll do something like that. And then it's got like these like thinner little wispy bits. So we'll do something like that. And then it's just basically like little round shapes repeating themselves, like so. And I'm just gonna try to get the edges. It's just like little splashes of color, but it's got a little bit of the white in there. And later I'll go around the edges with like a black or like a brown, just to kind of make it pop a little bit. All right, so we got the first two colors. We got that medium red going, and we've got the yellow going. Now we're gonna add the black. You see, I do each of these one at a time. It kind of takes a while, but that's why I like it. It's like if you're an animator and you're doing this frame by frame animation, it's kind of like that. You're just doing like still image, next, still image, next. Or if you're quilting, which is probably maybe a better metaphor for this, it's like one pad, one stitch, and then eventually you get a patch, and then eventually you patch that up with the other patches. So that's it's kind of like you can get lost in it, and it can almost be like a meditation, you know? All right, so let me see. So this is my reference again. And we will do that. Sorry, I want to make sure you can actually see what I'm doing. All right, so I did the thick lines, and I'm going to actually switch over to the fine tip because this black can run all over the place when you don't necessarily want it to. So this one kind of has repeating, so it's a lot of like patterns on top of patterns. So it's just kind of like that. And then we do something like that. All right. Oh, and I didn't realize that underneath here are lines also. So I'm going to have to go in with the red. And because it's going to be covering up the chameleon, I'm going to go in with those colors just as little dots to start. And then later when I'm actually working on the chameleon, I'll go over it. So it'll kind of have, all right, so I'm going to stop it there just so I can explain. So later, when I'm making the bottle caps sort of disappear into the chameleon, you kind of start out with like little dots of the color from the bottle cap, but then you go over it with brown, with black, with gray, with like the actual lizard colors. So that is how you make Chitenge bottle caps. But you don't need Chitenge patterns. You can use any patterns, whatever you have around the house, whatever part of the world you're in. It's just nice to put different colors of fabric together and kind of see what you get. All right, so sorry, I just realized my camera's like down here now. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I just wanted to say hi, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I am updating my website, updating my logos, and I put new work in, so maybe have a look and let me know if you like it or dislike it, so I can make it better. It's sort of that time of year when I do a bit of website spring cleaning. All right, have a great day. Have a good Tuesday. Take care. Bye.